Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Billy here, Billy Parrott, Billy and B Town Real Estate at Meridian Real Estate. And I'm actually in the Meridian Real Estate headquarters today. I got out of my home office and I am drenched in pink, thinking about Valentine's Day. And I'm happy to be back live here on the Facebook. It was kind of insane. Hey everybody on Instagram. It was it was nuts not being able to go live on Facebook on my coffee chats. But thanks to all of you that went to Instagram and watched my coffee chats. They're live there. Hey Matt. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between a short sale and a foreclosure. The biggest difference, I would say, with a short sale, typically, because things happen, right? You could lose your job, you could have health issues, you could have a divorce situation. In fact, I personally went through a short sale, and I think that actually has helped me help my clients that have had to go through those. We don't see them as often as we did back, of course, when the housing crash occurred. And that's, of course, when I had to do a short sale because, and here's another thing to think about, don't overbuy your house. So when you're looking at purchasing a property, make sure you're budgeting and really looking at what can I afford if, so say if you're married, if one of us loses a job, if we do get divorced, what can I afford without one of those incomes? Because the mistake I made at the time, I was working for an advertising firm. I was making a good amount of money and I was like, yeah, let's do this. We could buy this house. We could afford it, no problem. But I did not factor in what if. I was a commission, mostly commission salesperson at the time. Did not factor in, hey, what if, I don't make as many sales, or the housing crash happens, and it sucked, right? And I had to sit down and really think, okay, I can't afford this house anymore. I didn't factor in insurance payments going up. I didn't factor in property taxes going up. And obviously this was before I was in real estate. So I didn't have the knowledge that, would have helped me prevent that from happening. But those are definitely things to consider. And that's what I always tell my clients when I see them, they're like going to overbuy and they're really tight. I just really think about it. Do you still want to go on vacation? Do you still want to be able to buy, a nice purse or clothes or get your nails did, things like that. So just always factor that in. You don't want to live for your house. As much as we live in our houses, you don't want to be stressed out and then end up hating life. So getting back to my point. So if that happens to you, so you lose your job, you have health issues, you're no longer able to afford your property, the first step is to contact your lender, contact your bank. You don't want to run from the problem. Contact your lender and say, hey, what can I do? Because a lot of times before you even have to do a short sale, they might have some different programs that they can work with you. They might just be able to kind of halt payments for a while. Obviously, you'll have to pay those back eventually, but definitely that's the first call you want to make. Like, hey, this is what's happening. What can we do? So if you do end up doing a short sale, and what a short sale is you're selling the home for less than what you owe. So for instance, your home, you owe 200,000 on it, right? But you need to sell it for 175 to get out from under it. And maybe that's all the market allows at that time. So for my example, my home, I had purchased it at 275 and we ended up selling it at the end for 225. So obviously a big difference there. A lot of times the lender will require you to pay that additional balance back eventually. Sometimes they might waive it. So definitely ask about that as well. In my case, they waived it and we did not have to pay that additional balance, which was helpful, as you can imagine. So there's that. A lot of times it could take up to, well, anywhere from 3 to 6 months. I've seen some short sales that have taken 1 to 2 years. So again, it depends on what your lender is requiring as far as documentation and how quickly they move. But it could take that amount of time, which in a positive way, you can still stay in your house as this is happening, as your short sale is happening, so you're not going to be homeless. So that is one positive thing to that. Let's see. And as far as, so if you do a short sale, it could take up to 3 years after that process has been closed and done before you can buy another property. Sometimes less, just depending on what loan program you used, if you were making on-time payments during that time. So yeah, so just keep that in mind as well. You might have to rent for a while after. I know in our case, it took 3 years before we were able to buy again. And let me tell you, when we were able to buy again, I was very stringent, like, okay, this is our budget. We don't go over it. This is what we can afford. And it was definitely a learning lesson, and one that I teach my clients all the time. So do I wish it never happened? Of course, but I learned from it, and it was a valuable lesson that I can help people out in the future. So things happen for a reason, you guys. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Things just happen. So a foreclosure. So a foreclosure is when you're not making your payments and the bank decides to just seize the property and sell on their own. A lot of times people at this point have already abandoned the home. They moved out and said, I don't want to deal with it. I'm done. Leave the house, there and move on. So the bank will seize the property. A lot of times they will sell it at trustee sales. Sometimes they'll have a realtor do it. But in most cases, you'll see them at the trustee sales out for public bid. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you on that? Oh, and the waiting period on that. So if you do a foreclosure, which try to avoid at all costs, is you would have to wait up to 7 years before you can buy another property. That's a long time to be renting and to not be able to buy a house. So if at all costs, try to avoid a foreclosure. And again, just be upfront, communicate with your lender, and let them know that you're kind of running into this issue. And if you guys have questions as we're going on, just put it in the comments, and I will be happy to answer any questions. Okay, so there you go. That's the difference between a short sale and a foreclosure. I know a lot of people kind of wonder about that, like, what's the difference? And make sure that if you do a short sale, that you are hiring a realtor that has done one before, is knowledgeable in it, because what could delay the process, there's a lot of paperwork involved with a short sale. And if you're missing things, they're going to send it back and it's going to delay it. So you want somebody that knows what they're doing, what needs to be done, and sending things in a timely manner as well, to speed up the process, because the longer it takes, the worse it is. So that's what I've got for you there. And I just wanted to let you know, and I couldn't play any music today, you guys. I wanted to play, who's out there that likes Pretty in Pink, the 80s movies? I love Pretty in Pink. And so I'm donning the pink today. I got pink earrings. I've got a pink shirt. I don't have pink shoes. I should have worn pink shoes, but Pretty in Pink. I can't play music anymore because I think that's why I got banned on Facebook, is because I was playing copyrighted music. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm drinking my 0 sugar Red Bull today because I have a to-do list this big. So today is my 30th day of no alcohol. Whoever follows me knows that about 30 days ago, I decided to go dry. Kind of sort of for a dry January. I started before New Year's Eve, but I just wanted to share with you my experience so far since I have stopped drinking alcohol, and just to kind of give you a little bit of a background. I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder, which I know a lot of you are also dealing with it, which in this world, who doesn't have anxiety? Am I right? So I, self-medicated with, maybe a couple glasses of wine every night after work. And I just noticed that it started to become a problem for me. And I'm not saying that drinking alcohol is a bad thing at all. I mean, I just can't moderate like most people can, like just have one here and there. No, I was drinking like maybe two glasses of wine a day or a couple of ciders a day. So I noticed my anxiety was actually getting worse than better. So I thought I was helping the problem, but it was actually making it worse. So I decided to just stop drinking for a while. I've done this before in the past. And some of the positives that I've noticed is I have clearer skin. My skin is more vibrant. My dark circles have gone away. My hair is healthier. It doesn't seem so like dry and brittle. I have way more energy. Like 9 o'clock at night, I'm still going. I'm ready to go and work on things. My focus is so much clearer. And I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping way better. I'm wearing this new watch that my friend Rochelle gave to me. It's a Garmin Forerunner watch, and it monitors your sleep patterns. And I found it very interesting how much deep sleep and REM sleep I was actually getting since I've quit drinking. So I don't know, if you're ever curious, try it out, see if you like it. I might still continue to go drive for a while and see how long I can go. But I do absolutely love a good glass of wine or my ciders. I love my ciders. So there you go. And then I want to know who ate at the Chick-fil-A here in Billings. You guys, we are Chick-fil-A lovers here in B-Town. I mean, I like Chick-fil-A. I've only had it once, but I am not about to wait 40 minutes in line for a chicken sandwich. Just not gonna do it. So I want to know if whoever's watching, comment if you have gone to the Chick-fil-A so far. We opened it January 19th. And apparently we've broken some records. I guess if anybody knows what record we broke, comment below. But apparently for an opening, Billings loves their chicken sandwiches. But people were out there, I guess, at 1 a.m. waiting, huge lines. I drove by it the other day and it was still crazy. So I mean, they've got cops on scene helping out with traffic. They've got big old like digital billboards saying drive through here to get to Chick-fil-A. It's nuts. I've never seen, even when Krispy Kreme opened here, you guys, it wasn't that crazy. So enjoy your Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna wait probably a few more months before I even try to venture over there for a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. And tell me what your favorite thing is there to eat. I've only just had their original chicken sandwich and their fries, I think. But I think in Denver is where I had it. But that's all I have. There's not a whole lot going on in Billings this weekend. There's some live music going on at Craft Local, and I believe Thirsty Street has some live music going on as well. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna be organizing my house, chilling out. It's supposed to be 3 degrees here in Billings on Sunday, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, there you go. That's what I have. So if you guys have any businesses, or if you're an owner of a business and want to be featured here on Coffee Chat, hit me up. Let me know. I like to learn about what everybody's doing here in Billings, and I'd love to have you as a featured guest on Coffee Chat Live. So, oh, one more thing too. Whoever has signed up for the Queen Bee Marathon, which is in May, May 21st, I think. Yeah, I signed up for the half marathon. If you're a runner, and I feel like an idiot for not doing this a long time ago, but again, this watch, you guys, I keep swearing by this watch that I was given as a gift. It is amazing. If you're a runner, this thing, I have the Nike Run Club app on my phone, but this right here surpasses that. it tells you everything, and you can actually, so for instance, I signed up for the half marathon. So you can go in, it's the Garmin Connect app. You go to the app and you say that you want to train for a half marathon. They give you an option of like 3 different coaches. You decide which coach you like, and then they give you a running training program, which for me has been awesome because I get bored with my runs. And so this is a great way to shake things up. They tell you exactly what you need to do that day. So for instance, the other day they did a benchmark run, right? To kind of see where you're at, how fast you go, what your pace is, all of that. And then the last few days were easy run days where they just have you run a mile. So it tells you exactly what to do. So it takes all the guesswork out, like what am I supposed to do today? And it actually motivates you, because if you don't do your run that day, like I didn't yesterday because I had a huge migraine, you feel guilty. You feel guilty for not doing it. So if you need motivation and you're a runner, I highly recommend, this is the Garmin, I think it's the Forerunner 55 or 55 Forerunner. But again, it tracks your sleep, it tracks your pace on like live. So it's telling you your pace as you're running live, which is nice. The Nike Run app, you wouldn't find out until after, unless I was using it wrong. But highly recommend to my fellow runners, but you guys probably already have it and have, I'm like way behind in the scene. I don't know, but that's all I've got. And you guys have a wonderful weekend. It's great to be back. Hi, Catherine. It's great to be back. Hey, if anybody on Instagram wants to go live with me, let me know. We'll pop up live on Instagram. Have a little chit chat. But yeah, let me know, and we'll see you next Friday right here on Facebook. Bob, I've never had Chick-fil-A. Let me see. Let me show your comment here. I've never had Chick-fil-A. I look forward to trying it, but like you, I will be waiting a month or 2. Amen, Bob. I know. I just don't like waiting. It's just not worth it. It's just not. And I've had one. I mean, I know they're good, but I'm not a waiter. I'm impatient. So I'm right there with you, Bob. Maybe you and I should go together and have lunch. Maybe that's what we do. Let's do it. All right. Well, on Facebook, I'm going to see you later. I'm going to stick on Instagram here for a couple minutes, see if anybody wants to join me live. But we'll see you next week right here on Facebook. Adios.